Presented here with three athletes rather.
Don Warren ran 14:35 at this event last year. No stranger to running at Franklin Field.
This is our final heat of the Masters men's 100-meter dash, and quite a start there in the middle of the track from lane 5. Don Warren.
Charles Alley also running well for Houston Elite in lane 4. Charles Alley taking control of the race late, hands raised.
And late is right, he came on strong in the second half of that race. 13:96 for Charles Alley of Houston Elite ahead of Don Warren.
The race you've just watched was run by seniors aged 75 and over. Charles Alley of Houston Elite won and ran an amazing time of 13.96 for the 100 meters. Remarkable, right? I guess many of us, even a quarter of this age, aren't able to achieve anything close to this. Well, today's video is going to be about the seniors in football, specifically those over 40 years of age. I'm going to look at the best and unique senior players, look at their careers and achievements, and show why age shouldn't be seen as an excuse not to achieve greatness. Hello again, welcome back to Football Central. The channel's coming on really nicely and I really appreciate everyone that's taken the time to watch the content. Please do not forget to press these buttons as they will help the channel so much. So without further ado, who's football's best golden oldie? Someone must have told the young Totti that the grass isn't always greener on the other side. And I guess he never forgot this. Totti was a one-club man, a born and bred Romanista. He played for Roma for a quarter of a century and was as important to the club as is the Colosseum to the city of Rome. Take this for example. In 2002, Fiat Principal Executive Gianni Agnelli, a lifelong fan and ex-president of Juventus, chose Totti to publicise the launch of the new Stilo instead of one of his own players from Juventus. Totti won the following with Roma in Italy: 1 Serie A, 2 Coppa Italias, 2 Supercoppa Italianas, and a FIFA World Cup. He also holds several individual footballing and recognition awards, with some notable ones for Roma to include Roma all-time leading goal scorer, Roma all-time leading appearance maker, UEFA Champions League oldest goal scorer, the most goals for a single club in Serie A, and the most different teams scored against in Serie A. This man is a true legend. Totti's last season at the club coincided with his 40th birthday. However, he was in a very public battle with coach Luciano Spalletti, who was trying to move the club away from the Totti era. Both Totti and the Roma fans weren't quite ready to say goodbye, but the end finally did come in May 2017, when Totti stepped onto the Stadio Olimpico turf for the final time, coming on for 36 minutes against Genoa. He scored twice and provided 3 assists in only 336 minutes of football in his final season, showing that even at 40 he could still make a difference. Roger Milla rose to fame at Italia 1990 when he scored 4 goals in the tournament as a 38-year-old. He made damn sure that we didn't forget him with his amazing goal celebrations. So Kelechi, if you're watching out there, this man should be your AFTV dance partner. Cameroon was also a surprise package for the 1990 competition and reached the quarter-final thanks to his goals. 4 years later, Miller was dragged out of retirement to lead the African side once again in USA 1994, scoring his country's only goal in a 6-1 trouncing by Russia. Cameroon left the competition at the group stage this time around, but Miller's place in history was secure. At the time of his retirement, he was regarded as the all-time top scorer from the African region in the FIFA World Cup finals with 5 goals, and his record was eventually surpassed by Ghana's Asamoah Gyan. Teddy Sheringham operated at a very high level into his early 40s and still holds the record for the oldest goal scorer in Premier League history at 40 years and 272 days. Sheringham was one of the mainstays in the opening 15 years of the Premier League's life and scored the first goal ever broadcast on Sky Sports Super Sunday in August 1992. Like the finest of whiskies, Sheringham seemingly got better as he got older. He won the FWA Football of the Year award in 2001 at the age of 35 while still at Manchester United, and also won the following: 5 Premier League titles, 1 FA Cup, 1 Charity Shield, 1 Champions League and 1 Intercontinental Cup. He played 51 times for England, winning most of his caps after turning 30, and continued playing until the end of the 2008 season, retiring at age 42. Sir Stanley Matthews is often regarded as one of the greatest players of the British game and one of the greatest players of all time. He is the only player to have been knighted while still playing football, as well as being the first winner of both the European Footballer of the Year and the FWA Footballer of the Year award. He was nicknamed the Wizard of the Dribble and the Magician. Matthews kept fit enough to play at the top level until he was aged 50 years old. He was also the oldest player ever to play in England's top division at 50 years and 5 days, and the oldest player to represent his country at 42 years and 140 days. He was an inaugural inductee to the English Football Hall of Fame in 2002 to honour his contribution to the English game. He played for Stoke City and Blackpool. He helped the latter to win the FA Cup with a formidable personal performance in the Stanley Matthews final of 1953. This was his only major club honour. However, this is no reflection of the impact he left on English football. This man should be placed in the dictionary as a synonym for fine Italian wine. Zoff was regarded as Italy's finest shot stopper for years. He was 40 years old by the time he won the World Cup with the Azzurri in the summer of 1982, having also lifted Italy's only European Championship in 1968. This makes him the only Italian to have won both honours. Zoff was remarkably consistent and won the following club honours: 5 Serie A titles, 2 Coppa Italias and 1 UEFA Cup. He has a host of individual awards as well as the record set for the longest stretch of 1,142 minutes without conceding any goals in international football, set between 1972 and 1974. He played his last game for Juventus in a 1-0 defeat to Hamburg in the final of the European Cup in 1983, and my guy was 43 years old. Romario de Sousa Faria, simply known as Romario, was a prolific striker renowned for his clinical finishing. He scored over 700 goals and is one of the few players to score at least 100 goals for 3 different clubs. He is considered one of the greatest strikers in the history of the game. He was so good that at one time, at Barcelona, Romario asked his manager Johan Cruyff if he could miss 2 days of training to return to Brazil for the Carnival in Rio de Janeiro. Cruyff replied, "If you score 2 goals tomorrow, I'll give you the extra 2 days rest compared to the rest of the other players." The next day, Romario scored his second goal 20 minutes into the game and immediately gestured asking Cruyff to leave. He played for a number of teams, most notably PSV and Barcelona, and was part of the Brazil team that won the World Cup in 1994 in the USA. By the time he was 40, Romario was playing for Miami FC in the American second tier. Under the guidance of fellow Brazilian legend Zico, Romario scored 19 goals in 25 games. He eventually retired in 2009 at the age of 43, having scored goals on 5 different continents. This man has eclipsed Dino Zoff to become arguably the greatest goalkeeper in the history of Italian football. Gianluigi Buffon made his debut in November 1995 as a 17-year-old and 28 years later is still playing. Yes, he is still going strong and is impressing in Serie B for Parma. He played for Juventus during their most successful period and won 10 Serie A's, 1 Serie B, 5 Coppa Italias and 6 Super Coppa Italianas. He was also part of the Italy side with Totti that won the FIFA 2006 World Cup and equally won many trophies with both Parma and Paris Saint-Germain. He holds the records for the most appearances in Serie A and the most appearances for Juventus in a number of competitions, domestic and international. But Italy is the most capped player with 176 and holds various appearance and clean sheet records as well as best goalkeeper awards. Gianluigi Buffon is remarkable in the fact that he is still playing at a high level at the age of 45, and it is also the fact that he is one of the best goalkeepers in the history of the game. Giggsy, Flying Ryan and the Welsh Wizard were some of the names given to this man. At one point he was even dubbed the new George Best. Ryan Giggs, well, Ryan Wilson, the former son of Welsh rugby star Danny Wilson, before he elected to use his mother's name, played for Manchester United for the full length of his career. He was an exciting, exuberant winger in his youth, but once this disappeared, by the time he entered his 30s, he became a more cerebral player. Embracing yoga also helped Giggs extend his career, and under the guidance of Sir Alex Ferguson, Giggs was part of all 3 of Ferguson's greatest United sides. Giggs retired in 2014 at the age of 41, making over 1,000 competitive appearances for the club and winning over 20 major honours. He is the Premier League's most decorated player and won the following: 13 Premier Leagues, 4 FA Cups, 4 Football League Cups, 9 Community Shields, 2 UEFA Champions Leagues, 1 Intercontinental Cup and 1 FIFA Club World Cup. When his playing career came to an end, he became a coach at the club and even took the job as interim manager in 2014 following the dismissal of David Moyes. The archetype of consistency and elegance, and the looks of a Valentino model. This footballing prince was part of the Milan footballing dynasty.
Now to strike.
The son of Cesare and the father of Daniele and Christian, Paolo Maldini was a regular for Milan until the day he retired at the end of the 2009 season, aged 41. Originally an AC Milan youth squad product, Maldini also went on to play his entire career with the senior side. He started life at left back and then later moved in to play at centre back. He played 647 games for Milan over 24 years and held the record for the most games in Serie A until it was broken by Buffon. He has won 7 Serie A titles, 1 Coppa Italia, 3 Supercoppa Italianas, 5 Champions Leagues, 4 UEFA Super Cups, 2 Intercontinental Cups and 1 FIFA Club World Cup. However, Maldini never won anything with Italy, losing 2 major finals. One more thing to note, he has played against everyone from Maradona to Ronaldo to Ronaldinho to Cristiano Ronaldo. Kazuyoshi Miura, often simply known as Kazu, is a Japanese professional footballer who plays as a forward for Oliveirense in the 2nd division in Portugal. Even at the tender age of 56, he is still not the oldest player on this list, and to add to the craziness, he is currently on loan in Portugal. Yes, the Portuguese team actually loaned Kazu since the beginning of the 22-23 season. Born in 1967, the Japanese legend became the first player from his country to play in Serie A when he joined Genoa for 1 season in 1995. He also had a spell with Dinamo Zagreb in the late 1990s and spent over 20 years playing in his homeland in the J-League. Kazu represented Japan 89 times, scoring 59 goals, and in 2012, at the age of 45, Miura made his debut for the Japan futsal team in a 3-3 draw against Brazil. In the 2012 Futsal World Cup, Miura played in all 4 matches for Japan but failed to score as the Japanese were knocked out by Ukraine in the round of 16. I know they say that life begins at 40, and Kazu really makes the case for this to be true. However you look at it, he's in his 50s as a licensed professional footballer, which deserves a huge amount of respect. Robert Carmona is a 61-year-old Uruguayan footballer who plays as a centre-back and captains 4th division side Hasalayangol Alavida. He has played in the lower leagues of Canada, United States, Spain and Italy for 30 teams in total and in over 2,200 official matches. Carmona started his career as a playmaker and holds the Guinness World Record for the longest footballing career playing without a single season's break. 47 years. He also holds the record for the player who had the biggest gap between spells at a club, featuring for La Luz SC in 1985 before returning in 2009 some 24 years later. Despite having undergone 8 operations due to injuries, his intention is to continue playing football. This guy is showing some serious love and passion for the sport. These next players are amazing and unbelievable in their journey and commitment to football. They are professional in every way, and in some cases not, but they are great, energetic characters within the game. Zlatan has only just tipped the scales being only 41 as he was born in 1981. He is a Swedish professional footballer who still plays as a striker for Serie A club AC Milan and the Sweden national team. Ibrahimovic is renowned for his acrobatic strikes and volleys, powerful long-range shots and excellent technique and ball control. He is regarded as one of the greatest strikers of all time and is one of the most decorated active footballers in the world, having won 34 trophies in his career. He has over 570 career goals, including more than 500 club goals, and has scored in each of the last 4 decades. He started his career in Malmo in 1996, then Ajax, Juve, Inter, Barcelona, and a whole host of top flight clubs. He even had a spell in the MLS for LA Galaxy. Just to give you a flavour how great this guy is, Zlatan has won a trophy every season of his career between 2002 and 2017 and won the league 13 times in 15 seasons between those same years. He has won the league in 4 different countries, Holland, Italy, Spain and France, and between 2003 and 4 and 2010 and 11, he won 8 straight league titles. He has shown no signs of calling it a day, so let's prepare ourselves for many more years of Zlatan. I grew up in the late 1980s watching the children's show Super Grand, and this next lady actually lives up to that title. On August 20th, 2017, she became the oldest female footballer in the world at the age of 65 years and 292 days, thus cementing herself in the Guinness Book of Records. Lorraine Peele, 66, put on her first pair of football boots at the age of 36, following encouragement from her husband whilst watching their son play football. Please bear this in mind, most footballing people are actually planning their retirement at that age. She played for Liverpool Rangers Soccer Club in New South Wales, Australia, and has done so for over 27 years. Football has become a family affair, as she even played alongside her daughters and grandchildren. Peele has 1.3 million followers on TikTok on her Groovy Granny Nanny account. Talk about a groovy grandma. Guys, I just showed you Groovy Granny, and she is truly amazing. But this next player goes one better. Let's just say a lot better. Meet David Mudge. He is currently playing for Kissing Point Football Club, which play in the Northern Suburbs Football Association in New South Wales, Australia. He holds the Guinness World Record, becoming the oldest competitive football player on the 25th of April in 2022 after playing a full 90-minute game against North Taramura. He was 79 years, 89 days.
I'm sorry, come again?
Yes, I said 79 years old and still kicking ball with the youngsters.
What the hell are you talking about?
According to the record book, Mudge's involvement with the North Suburbs Football Association began in 1958 when he began playing for Beecroft Football Club in the under-14s age group. He joined his current team, Kissing Point, in 1974 and has done various jobs both on and off the field. As well as playing the beautiful game, he has also been the club's president, treasurer, and even ran the canteen and barbecue in his time at the club. Mudge can be considered a true legend of the game and an inspiration to many in very many ways.
Hell yeah, and what are you going to say to yourself?
Thanks very much.
You've just seen some of the best and interesting footballers to have played the game into their 40s and way beyond. Some have played the game at the highest levels, whilst others have been ever present at amateur level. Both Ryan Giggs and Francesco Totti have played their whole careers serving one single club, and Romario and Roberto Carmona have played for various clubs over a number of years across various continents. But my choice goes to Cazu. He is still playing to this day in the Portuguese second division, which is a very high standard for most of us, and to think that he's only one promotion away from reaching the big time and playing against the Portuguese big three, come on man. And the fact that he's currently on loan at the age of 56, and I repeat, on loan at the age of 56, seems somewhat both crazy and extraordinary. Also that he made his futsal debut for Japan at the age of 45 in a 3-3 draw against Brazil, and then scored in a win against the highly rated Ukraine, and furthermore played in the 2012 World Cup, completely shows the commitment and desire to push the bar, and shows us all that age is nothing but a number. Thank you, Cazu. Football is blessed to have you. Keep raising the bar. Playing football is one of the most beautiful feelings in the world, and to play in a long-lasting career can be so satisfying. However, once the end is nigh and we realise that our career is coming to an end, it can be one of the most devastating situations to deal with. Sometimes our body feels the long-lasting effects of playing and begin to tell us when it's time to call it a day, whereas other times we just simply fall out of love with the sport. Players who play into their 30s are generally seen as superhuman and are often referred to as machines. They take special care of themselves and their bodies through consistent and well-planned training methods and a strict diet and superb physio and conditioning. And for those who play into their 40s, 50s and 60s, do all of the above and mix it with an undiminishing love for the beautiful game. We're at the end of the video now, and I hope you've enjoyed it. We've talked about some truly remarkable people and witnessed some true career commitment. It would be interesting to know if there are any other golden oldies that I should have mentioned. Get in touch, let me know in the comments. Also, please let me know what other stories and topics that you'd like me to discuss. I'm all ears. Also, on the way out, please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.
I will love it.
It's time to say goodbye now. Stay safe, keep young, and see you next time on Football Central.